Welcome to Small Biz Big Wins, your guide to government contracting series. This is video 4 out of 5, and in less than 15 minutes, I'm going to cover how you can start to do business with the government. But we are talking about the 5 common mistakes that hurt small businesses into getting into government contracting. So basically, we're going to talk about what not to do when you are considering government contract. But before we get into it, make sure that you like and subscribe to get notifications about videos in this series, plus other helpful videos that I have coming out. All right? Always want to let you know who I am. If this is your first time tuning in, I am Dr. PJ. I have a doctorate in human resource development where I studied family businesses and how to get them to operate and continue on into generation after generation. With my doctorate, I also after that worked in government procurement, helping businesses to start, grow, and scale in general. Specifically, my niche was to help them to navigate doing business with the government. So if you're interested in doing business with the government and starting that process, that's my specialty. That's here. I received several awards locally and nationally because of my work in advocacy for helping small businesses, especially those owned and operated by marginalized individuals, get and secure government contracting. And with that, like I said, I'm a former government employee. So now I've turned into a business consulting, helping small businesses, being your strategist in navigating the government waters. And I'm also a speaker and an author, and of course, an entrepreneur. And my business is Cogency, and our mission is simple. We help small businesses to get into government procurement, government contracting, and then we also, on the flip side, help organizations, whether they're business support organizations or government agencies or corporations who want to work with small businesses, who want to develop small businesses. We help you to do that by supplying the programming, helping you with the outreach, to build partnerships, and to build a healthy and supportive ecosystem that supports small businesses. It takes a village to do that. It's not just one person, it's just not one organization. It takes us all to make sure our businesses have what they need to get into contracting and to grow their capacity, right? And if you're a small business, I help you with coaching and advising. You can retain me as a consultant. I can be that extra staff member that you need to help you with this process. Or I also do provide a la carte services, whether you need guidance on your certification, a strategy development to enter into the contracting, or maybe you just need like, hey, I've been here, I need to get some larger contracts. What do we need to do next? I'm here to help you to grow your capacity of your business, and I do offer business workshops to help you as well. For the 5 common mistakes that hurt small businesses in government contracting. Right before we dive into that, make sure that you check out the other videos in this series. Like I said, they all build on each other. So if I say something, you're like, I don't know what she's talking about, go back to the first 3 videos. And then once you finish this one, make sure you go into the next one so that you can be fully ready to consider government contracting and to enter. You can always contact me, check out my other videos, connect with me on LinkedIn, send me an email. Whatever question you have, send it to me and we'll get it answered for you, because like I said, I'm here to help you navigate that process. So, all right, let's get into it. Government contracts, 5 common mistakes. Mistake number 1, lack of strategy. The saying is the people perish with the lack of vision also applies to government contracting. If you do not have a strategy, believe me, darling, you will perish. You have to have a strategy of pursuit. You have to identify the agencies that you want to work with, and not just that you want to work with them. You want to work with them because they buy your product or service in a pattern that can be profitable to you, right? You also want to know the previous contract awardees, who has gotten the contracts in the past, and not only who those people were, who did those people work with? Did they have a subcontractor who are those subcontractor or subcontractors on that contract. Why? Because you, if that's the contract you won, you got to know your competitive advantage against those people who have already been working on those contracts in those fields. You want to research them. You want to know what events they're going to. You want to know them and they need to know you. You also want to have a connect, right? We talked about, I want to say it was video 2 about the gatekeepers that might be in these agencies. You need to have a connection, that someone who can help you navigate that agency, who could call up people for you in that particular agency and ask the questions that you might not know to ask, or you don't know who to ask them to. They can help you with your strategy. I can help you with your strategy. But all those things are key in developing a particular strategy so that you can get into government procurement. Because if you don't have a strategy, you will bump your head so many times and get discouraged, and it can harm you and it can definitely disappoint you. And we don't want that to happen. You also may need to start small, but whenever you start small, even if it's a contract for $100, you want to perform well before going after the big fish. A lot of people are like, I want a contract. I want the contract. I don't care what it takes. I don't care if I don't make a profit the first time. I just want a government contract. That's not a strategy. That's not a strategy. And if you don't perform well, if you mess up something or they have to cancel your contract because of it, you're going to, one, lose time, and you're going to lose money. You're going to be devastated. But I've seen it firsthand for those who have underbid just to get that contract and they couldn't fulfill it, or it wasn't profitable. It's a death sentence. Because let me tell you, as global as we may be, word of mouth travels more quickly than anything. And if you do not perform well on a government contract, please know that everybody in that agency will probably know, and plus other agencies who have worked with that agency, word will travel fast that you don't deliver, you don't have the capacity, and it's not going to be a good look for you. So you always want to be in a position where you do well. So you must have a strategy, but that is a mistake, that if you don't have a strategy, that people make that hurt them when they're getting into government procurement. So that's why it's good to have a strategist like me to help you and to develop a solid plan so that you can navigate these waters. All right. So mistake number 2, your business is not in compliance. Having your business set up for contracting is crucial, because you have to be in compliance if you're doing business with the government. Having a solid business foundation is definitely necessary, because we know the government is going to ask for a lot of information, but they already have a lot of information on you. What I mean by that is your business legally set up properly? Can you do business with the government and you're a DBA? Absolutely. But you want to at least have an LLC, right? You want to be careful of the asset, because the LLC one, or the corporation over a DBA, is going to make you seem like a more solid business. Remember, it's a competitive field, so you want to make sure that your business is set up properly and people see that it's professional, because that's what they want to do business with, because these are tax-paying money, tax dollars that they're spending, and they want to be able to say, we spent our money, yes, with a small business, but it was a solid business, right? Do you have the business credit to handle the contract expenses, right? A lot of people want that contract, but remember, we talked about the slow payments. So if your business is not set up to not be paid right away, it could be up to 90 days before you get paid. So you want to make sure that you have the necessary business funds and the credit to handle the contract expenses, so that if you're not getting paid, your business can still run until you get that paycheck. But also, you want to make sure that your business funds are kept separate from your personal funds. The funds being commingled can hurt your business, and it will put you out of compliance with doing business with the government if you don't have that. don't have the right NAICS or NIGP codes, if you don't know what I'm talking about, go back to the previous video. If you don't have the correct codes, that can hurt you in doing business with the government, because you won't be in compliance to receive the contracts. Also, we got to go personal now. It's not just me saying it, it's what I saw that can harm people. Are you current on your taxes? Have your business taxes and your personal taxes been filed? Do you owe child support? Right? Anything that you owe the government, you got to make sure you're in compliance with the government and done those things before you get into doing a contract with the government, right? You have to prove that you have the experience also before you go after a contract. If they're asking for somebody to build a stadium and you've never worked at building a stadium before, you're not in compliance with the rules even for that solicitation. Are your financial statements in order? Do you have that financial credibility? Do you have the correct staffing? Right? Are you in compliance with what they're asking for that particular contract? That's what we're talking about. And that is a huge mistake, that those, what I just listed, are huge mistakes that people overlook with doing business with the government. And they get into the process, they get into the networking, and they start submitting bids over and over, but no, they're never selected. And it's because they don't have all these things in order, because they are not in compliance. And we don't want that to happen to you. We learn from our mistakes and we learn from the mistakes of other people. So you want to have a solid business before you go after contracting. It's okay to start small though, with those micro purchases. But as you grow, you want to make sure that you always, always keep your business in compliance. Mistake number 3, lack of networking. As the song said, get your back up off the wall. Or in this picture, get your hands off your head, sir, and get your hands into the hand of somebody else in the crowd. You got to get out there and network, shaking hands, learning who's getting these contracts, building relationships with the government agencies, as well as other businesses who have worked on government contracts. There's so much knowledge shared that goes along with the camaraderie of being a part of organizations with other companies who have worked, even small businesses who have worked on these government contracts. What I always tell people is not who you know, but it's who knows you. They need to know who you are and what you do and what you're about, because people do business with people that they know and that they like. It's so important to establish the relationships and the rapport with the gatekeepers, with the procurement team members, but also with the decision makers. You should also stay in the know about what opportunities are out there and what is upcoming, that the upcoming contracts, attending the events that the agency hosts, plus other agencies like chambers of commerce are going to be in the know. Other professional organizations that are dedicated with doing business with governments, different types of governments. Those are the people you want to be going to their events and networking with. Also, we talked about finances, right? You want to make sure you are connecting with financial advisors and folks from the bank, because you never know when you might need to get a loan in order to fulfill a contract, right? So it's all works together. That whole ecosystem that I mentioned about earlier, and having that support system, it's about networking and building your network in the relationships so that you can be known. And people, and in government contracting, you're not just doing business with the government, but you're also doing business with other businesses as well who may be doing business with the government. So you learn more from other businesses, especially those who have won and performed well on contracts, than you think. So make sure you join chambers of commerce, you join professional organizations, or at least attend their events. Have your business card, whether it's a physical one or a digital card, prepared, as well as your capability statement. All right, enough about that. Mistake number 4, poor solicitation writing. Writing a bid or proposal is not for the faint at heart. Many small businesses count themselves out because when they are submitting the proposals, there's a lack of clarity, there's a lack of non-compliance when you submit it, and it could be just a formal or informal misunderstanding. So it's important to read the solicitation, and to complete and submit everything that they are asking, and make sure you submit it on time. If it says it's due at 10 a.m. and you submit at 10:01, you have just counted yourself out. All that time you spent in that solicitation, right? You want it to pay off. You want it to have a return on investment. Do know that there are free classes through your local small business development center or business resource centers that can help you in writing a proposal. A lot of them have a catalog or a library of videos about that. So if you can't make it there, or if you're in a smaller city where you might not have a local SBDC office, you could tap into the nearest one and check out their video library, and they will show you how to actually do a proposal. Also, if that's not your thing, there are always people that you can hire that are out there who write proposals for you, who submit bids on your behalf. So sometimes people pay for convenience. If that's you and you know, like, hey, I cannot write the proposal, that's not my thing, then make sure you are looking for those people. Get out there, networking and finding out those people who write the solicitations, write the bids or proposals for you, and to increase your chances. Also, another key with solicitation that I find that small businesses don't know is that they don't know their business and they don't know their competitive advantage. So you always want to pay attention to what is being asked in the solicitation, and you always want to convey what you offer and your competitive advantage. Okay, we got to move on. Mistake number 5 is giving up too soon. Like I said, government contracting is all about patience. That is key. And it's a marathon and not a race. Persistence and patience is what you need. And on average, it could take you years before you actually land a large contract. But don't give up, because you want to start with the small wins, right? Start with those micro purchases, start with those informal bids, and build your business and learn from the agency as you be a subcontractor. And once you get into it and get into the groove and you're out there networking and talking with other people who have won contracts, you will develop your secret sauce for winning. And once you know that, oh, it's on, and you'll be able to get a lot more contracts. So if you think you are ready, please scan that QR code and you can check out my procurement checklist. We can get that sent to you. You can go through and check off the list and see if you are actually ready to do business with the government. Also, check out my On Track program that will take you from startup to supplier. If you feel that, hey, I'm ready to get into government procurement, we're going to make sure that you have a solid business to get into contracting, because that is key. All right. And there's my information. I'm available for one-on-ones, and we can talk deeper specifically about your business, what you offer, to make sure that you're ready for government procurement and government contracting, and help you to develop a strategy to get entered into it, and so that you can be successful when you get in there. So connect with me on LinkedIn, visit my YouTube page, send me an email, go to the website. We have a various different amount of services available. Like I said, I'm here to help you. And don't forget the other videos in this series. We build off of each video, and we want to make sure that you have the full gamut, so that you know that there are big wins for small businesses as we continue to be your guide in government contracting.